how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Rowlets, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today, guys, it'll be really fun to do a video for you guys. We go through the top 5 possible starter Pokemon, or grass starter Pokemon, for Pokemon Switch 2019, aka Generation 8. Now, for those who do not know, it was already confirmed now by Nintendo, by Pokemon, the company, and also by Game Freak, that in 2019, we're going to be getting a main series RPG, and that's the one that they announced back in 2017, a main series RPG, core RPG, that's going to be a brand new generation, and that's going to be coming in 2019. And as you guys may know, in the past, we've had people make Fakemon that then turned out to be real in the future, or rather not, they didn't make them, and then they were used, but rather Pokemon that were created by fans, like maybe a grass owl, and then, there actually ends up being a real grass owl in the future made by actual Game Freak. So I thought it'd be really cool to do a video today, guys, going through 5 Pokemon that possibly could be the grass starter types, or could, be used, or rather could have similar starters in the future that we actually get, especially in Generation 8. So I thought we'd go through 5 of these in this video, guys. If you're excited, then drop a like down below, and let's get started with this video with number 5. So coming in at the number 5 spot is going to be Lichub. Now, Lichub is actually, if some of you do not know about this is actually a fake leak for a long time. This was a fake rumored leak or whatever, that this was going to be the starter Pokemon for Generation 8. This was actually posted by, or rather made by, Merix20, which also has a YouTube channel, which I'll link down below, and of course the DeviantArt, which you guys can go check out as well. But this was made by Merix20, and this is Lichub. Now, this was supposedly a leak for a long time, but it was debunked pretty quickly by most people. I didn't think it was real at first when I saw it. I thought it was fake, and most people, went about it the same way. They thought it was fake, and that really was the case. But let's actually take a look at Lichub here and see what's so cool about it and what I think would be really nice, about this Pokemon and actually having it in the future. So Lichub is essentially a cub. It's supposed to be a little bear Pokemon type of thing, it's supposed to be a grass bear, and it looks adorable. I can't deny that. And the really cool part about it is how they kind of made its face, or rather the shape of its fur around its face, into this really awkward, shape that looks like a mouth. And then the top parts of its face, like the eyebrows or whatever, are supposed to also be kind of like little carvings. And when it's inside of the dark cave, it actually looks like it's got this evil, menacing face on it. You know what I mean? It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Mimikyu underneath the cloth or whatever. That's kind of what it reminds me of, but even more like, ghastly and creepy. So this could be a Pokemon that could essentially hide itself from predators by hiding in caves, and essentially its kind of shape of its face would actually defend it from other predatory Pokemon that would try to attack it and stuff like that. So it's a really cool concept. I do like what Merix20 went for here. Really unique and different, and overall a cute Pokemon that doesn't really, it doesn't stand out too much, and it doesn't really look too plain. It's just got that perfect balance as a grass type, and I wouldn't mind actually having this as a starter Pokemon. Now, the real, sad point here is that there is no evolutions made by Merix20 as far as I could see. I couldn't find any evolutions for it, so I couldn't actually get any images for how it would look as it evolves. But if it does make it in the future, I'll make an update video and show you guys the updated, or rather the evolved states of Lichub. But either way, that's going to be number 5. Let's go to the next one on the list. Now, coming up at number 4 is going to be Chidrupi. Now, Chidrupi was made by Dark and Windy Fakemon. Now, Dark and Windy is actually a designer that I've featured in the past. He's a really amazing designer. He's made so many different Fakemon, so many unique styles, and honestly, he's just one of the best Fakemon designers you will ever find. And Dark and Windy made Chidrupi. Now, Chidrupi is a fruit bat Pokemon, and of course, it isn't the first bat Pokemon we've ever seen. We've had Zubat, Noibat, etc. We've had bat Pokemon in the past, but this one as a starter Pokemon, we're really cool. Now, it has 2 evolutions, which are Chiripi, and that evolves at level 16, or starting to at level 16, and Terracidon starting at level 36. Now, we're going to take a look at its first, evolution here, which is Chiripi, which actually looks really interesting. So first things first, in the terms of the design here, it looks very similar to the first stage. The only difference though is it's larger. I mean, it's way larger, and the nose is a very noticeable thing. It's large and big, and it's kind of in your face. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Noibat, if I'm going to be honest. Really similar to Noibat, so that may be a bit of a downside of it. But then again, we have a third evolution here, or second stage rather. So, and that's the final stage, which is going to be Terracidon, and Terracidon is amazing. It looks more like a bat, but almost like Dracula, almost in a way. And that may sound weird, I know, but when I look at it, I'm like, dude, it looks like the wings aren't actually wings, but rather just kind of like a piece of cloth or whatever, or like a robe that is holding up, and then it's gonna be like, I will suck your blood, you know what I mean, or some dumb shit like that. I don't know. I'm weird, I know, I'm sorry. But honestly, though, it looks amazing. It's supposed to be a grass flying type, which makes sense, and I assume the first stage as well also is, supposed to also be a grass flying type, because that's kind of what it, looks like and is supposed to be, I guess. And overall, it's a really cool Pokemon, though. I will say, it looks really awesome. It's a fruit bat, so I don't mind that. The only Pokemon that's a bat that I don't like is Zubat, so I wouldn't really mind another Pokemon like this, especially Pterosidon. It looks freaking insane, just freaking awesome. And again, that whole, like, I don't know why, but I'm getting the feeling of, like, Dracula from this thing, and it's really weird, I know. But either way, that's kind of my thought about it. And let me know, guys, what do you think about it? Do you think it looks cool? Do you like it? Do you like the design, etc.? Let me know, and let's get to the next one. Now, coming up next is going to be the design made by Foxy EF over at DeviantArt, and this is Bladillo, and it's a grass type. Now, this is a freaking awesome Fakemon, and I love this thing so much. Like, I swear to God, this thing is so awesome. So, first things first is, this thing reminds me a lot of, like, I guess Tyranitar is, like, really the first thing that comes into mind to me. Is, like, Tyranitar and stuff when I look at it, because the whole, like, essentially having these outer scales, like, and like etc. It just looks so much like that, and I love that because it's one of my favorite Pokemon ever, and it's freaking awesome. And the design here, it really speaks to me personally. I love that it has these little, like, gems or whatever they are, like little these rosebuds or whatever, rosebuds. I said roadbud, but rosebuds, and they look freaking awesome. This thing is so adorable, and I just want to see how an evolution would look like. Essentially, I guess it's based on an armadillo, because Bladillo, I guess, and that's, supposed to be the connection there. And in terms of the design, though, it's got these, like, scales on its back that just, I guess, protect it from the back, and they look freaking insane. I would want to see some sort of move where it basically shoots out those scales or something like that. That'd be really cool. But then again, I'm not sure how likely that would be. But overall, though, this is one of the ones that are probably my favorite on this list. I love this thing so much, and I really wish it was actually real, because I would not mind myself a Fakemon like this. It's seriously, or rather, a real starter Pokemon, grass type especially, that was like this, because all the grass starters we kind of have over the recent times have been kind of mellow, you know what I mean? They've been pretty chill and whatnot. This thing looks fierce. It doesn't look like it's a pushover. It looks like when it evolves, it's gonna go full-on badass. It just looks amazing, and I just want to see where this could be taken possibly by Game Freak, and to what extent they could just, like, make this thing even more awesome. I want to see some more badass grass starters. I mean, Rowlet is cool and all, but Rowlet is just like, it looks like it's smoked way too many joints. It's just ridiculous how high Rowlet looks half the time, or just confused like it just had, like, the sense slapped out of it. So I want to see a more serious grass starter. I really want to see some more serious ones. I love Trico in the past because it was actually really, like, kind of had this cool demeanor to it, and, it was really just badass. But, Venusaur just looked like too many joints. Let's not even talk about Gen 6, and let's not even talk about that. But, I mean, overall, I would love to see Bladillo as an actual starter. It's definitely one of my favorite on this list, so let me know your thoughts about it, guys. And, of course, check out the DeviantArt. It's going to be linked down below, guys. So either way, let's go to the next one. So coming in at the number 2 spot is going to be a design made by Diego Guilherme, and he created Alichucha or Alicuca or whatever you want to, call it. It's just the name that's right there, and it's freaking awesome. So this is a alligator-based Pokemon, or it's an alligator-based starter Pokemon. And the only other Pokemon I can think of that's, like, based on a crocodile and not, like, an alligator is, like, I guess for alligator and, like, just Totodile and whatnot. It's the only thing that comes to mind to me. Other than that, we don't have I mean, we have a few. We do. I'm not going to deny that. We have a few, but, I mean, I wouldn't mind an alligator-based grass starter Pokemon. That would be pretty awesome. I can't deny that, and this design right here is freaking amazing. So this was essentially based on the legend of the Chucha or Cuca, plus an alligator. That was the inspiration that Diego actually got when he made this, and I love this thing. It just looks perfect. Like, I think this could possibly be one of the more likely things that I could see as an actual starter. Now, the big question is, okay, but alligators are in water. Why wouldn't you have a grass type? Well, what I thought of was, why not give it a water typing at its final stage? I think that could work. Honestly, a grass, alligator, and then as it evolves into its final stage or its second, evolution, it could actually turn into a freaking water type as well. So, grass water, that would be freaking awesome. I wouldn't mind that. Seriously, I would really not mind that. That would be freaking awesome. It would be really twisting things up a little bit, you know what I mean? It'd be a really weird change in pace, and you'd be like, okay, this is weird. I kind of like it, you know what I mean? I would love that. I seriously would love that. But then again, it's really not up to me. It's up for you guys. What do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts on it, guys. But Diego, seriously, this guy makes so many great designs, guys. Check him out. Give him some love. I'm going to link him down below as per usual. Either way, let's go to the next one on this list. Okay, so before we go into the final ones, I actually found a really cool design that I wanted to feature, but unfortunately I couldn't find the original designer. So if the original designer, if you're able to reach out to me, and if this was your design, please reach out to me. I would love to just make sure, link you down below so people can check out your other work, and so I can actually check out your work as well. But he actually made this, like, whoever made this, he or she, doesn't matter, but they made these awesome starters that I just couldn't find the original, like, again, creator for. But basically, you have these little bird Pokemon, this little bird, cute little thing, that then evolves into a slightly bigger thing. It looks a little bit like Combuskin when I first looked at it. Like, a little bit of Combuskin, and kind of the feeling of, like, something like that. That's kind of what I thought about. And then when I see the final evolution right here, the final stage, it looks like a freaking bird version, or a grass version of freaking Blaziken, and it is amazing. It looks like it's got a shuriken in his hand, like an arrow or whatever, that's like made out of, I guess, a part of its body. What I would assume, it looks like it's like a feather from like the top of its head, and then like, it's made out of, body parts or whatever, and it's got a robe on the back that kind of reminds me a little bit of like the Sidawai, and kind of like, I get the feeling of Rowlet when I see this, but this thing looks badass. I would love this. I thought this would be an extra Pokemon to show off here real quick, guys, before we go into the #1 spot. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comment section down below. This was a bonus one, so I hope you guys enjoyed that, but let's go to the final one on this list. And finally, we have a Galef, and Galef was also made by Dark and Windy, Fakemon, and oh boy, this one is freaking awesome. So, it's known as the average Pokemon, which makes sense. It's supposed to be a really average-based, basic kind of Pokemon. Not supposed to be something crazy. I'm not really sure what it's based on originally, but apparently, it looks a bit like a squirrel almost to me. Like, a little bit like a squirrel and like a troll. I don't know why, but that's just the feeling I get from it when I first saw it here. So, it evolves into Justsko starting at level 18, and then Teskoga at level 36. And if you actually look at its evolutions, they really are badass. So, let's look at Jutsko. Sorry about that, I messed up the name. But Jutsko here, which is a really confusing name for me, if I'm going to be honest. I'm having a hard time with the J right there, but it's besides the point. So, Jutsko here is the Scuffle Pokemon. And as you can see, it kind of has these, like umbrellas or whatever you want to call them, like, those Japanese like umbrellas, whatever you call them. Basically has one of those in its hand, and also its tail is very similar to that as well. It kind of, that's a feeling I get when I look at it, and it looks freaking awesome. I've got to say, like, I love this. This looks freaking sick, and it looks like it's a little bit of a ninja almost, and that's kind of weird. So it basically constructs it's one of those fans, right? It makes like a fan of leaves, and then sticks those in order to defend itself from attacks, which is really interesting. And they practice these like these things on their own. It looks just overall badass. I love this thing. And then the final evolution, it just goes full out with the fans or the umbrellas, whatever you want to call them. The freaking thing looks insane. It's Teskoga, it's the fan Pokemon, and it uses these fans to defend itself. It's the final form, and it just looks insane. It's a grass fighting type. It looks awesome. I guess it uses the fans to defend itself, attack with them as well. I'm not sure if it shoots them out from like, from within those kind of things that it holds them in, but this thing is awesome. We haven't seen too many Pokemon, like with sort of items that they use, like, they actually hold in certain items. Usually Pokemon just kind of attack for, with moves that you can't really, they don't just come out of their bodies, right? Or, it's like, if it's a physical move, they'll punch you or whatever. If it's like, if it's a non-physical move, they'll just go, or a special move, they'll of course just, be shooting it out like a thunderbolt or fire, fireball or flame or whatever, fire blast, flamethrower, whatever, ember, you get the point. But this thing, I wonder how this would work if it's, using these fans. Would it be punching you with them? Would it be throwing them at you? How would that work? I'd really love to see that. But basically, it's supposed to be using them, I guess, in a manner almost like daggers to kind of slice through things. That's what I would assume the most likely thing would be here for them. Kind of like slice through things through, with them, considering it is a fighting type as well. So I assume that's what will be the main point of it. So yeah, overall, I love this thing. It looks awesome. And yeah, guys, it's going to be the end of the video, guys. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like down below. As per usual, guys, if you do drop enough likes, I'll do another one for the fire starter Pokemon, and then we'll do water starters next after that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, though. My name's Rowlets. Have a freaking great day, guys, and I'll see you all the next time. Bye-bye.